Donde lieta uscì al tuo grido d'amore, torna sola Mimì al solitario nido. Ritorna un'altra volta a intesser finti fior. Addio senza rancor. Ascolta, ascolta, le poche robe ad una che lasciai sparse. Nel mio cassetto stan chiusi quel cerchietto d'or e il libro di preghiere. Involgi tutto quanto in un grembiale e manderò il portiere. Bada, sotto il guanciale c'è la cuffietta rosa. Se vuoi serbarla a ricordo d'amor. Bom, bom. Addio senza rancor. Okay, let's go back. First of all, let's talk a little tiny bit about Mimì. Mimì is often portrayed as this kind of saint, right? She's a saint. Musetta's a slut. But what I always say is there's a lot of Musetta in Mimì, there's a lot of Mimì in Musetta. You know, because first of all, ask yourself this question that I'm asking you. What does la bohème mean? Do you know? So those of you who have studied might say, I know what it means. It means the Bohemian woman. Well, what does that mean? Is she from Bohemia? This is set in Paris. Is she from Bohemia? No. La bohème, Bohemian, the Bohemian lifestyle refers to people who nowadays we would call them hippies, or we would call them people who are living an alternative lifestyle. So Mimì was this person. She was a flake. She was the flake next door. She was, I've seen it, you know, the girl at the party that you wish you hadn't started a conversation with. She's the girl in the hallway that you wish you hadn't started a conversation with, except for Rodolfo was happy about it. So she's living this alternate lifestyle. I mean, she's young. She's not like 18, but she's young. She's young enough to, you know, to be a woman about town. So why isn't she living with her parents? Why is she living in this dump? Because that's where she lives. She lives in a dump. So does Rodolfo. They live in this building that's a dump. There's no central heating. I don't even know if they have water. They live in this dump, and she embroiders for a living. Why? Where are her parents? Why isn't she with her family? You know, this is what? End of like 19th century Paris. So why is she doing that? She's doing that because she wants to live this alternate lifestyle. Like nowadays, like Paris, you have to understand that, you know, Puccini, Italian, people saw Paris as this like place of like, it's like today Portland would be. It was like this place where all the hippies were and where, you know, you were allowed to do all these things that the Italians couldn't do because they had the Pope just staring at them, right? The Pope's in Rome. Paris was way up in the north, and it's very cold in Paris. If you've never been there, especially if you've never been there in the winter, that's cold up there. So she's living in this dump, and you know, just because she wants to live this alternate lifestyle. So this is Mimì. I'm not saying she's not a nice person, but she's not this little goody too. She's always just this very boring character. Like when you see her portrayed, she's so boring. But Mimì, she's not really boring. She's just flaky. You know, and she, you know, those hippie people, like if you go into the natural food store, they're very sincere. They're nice people a lot of times, you know, but they're flaky. They're not like, you're not going in there and you're not finding a nun in the natural food. And I'm not talking about Whole Foods. Like if you go to Whole Foods, it's just all BMWs in the parking lot. Those aren't hippies. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about your local natural food store. That's where you're going to find today's Mimì. She's going to be in there. She's going to have a leather bracelet. She's wearing like tie-dye bell bottoms, even though it's 2022. That's Mimì. Okay. So is she a nice person? Yes. But is she a saint? No, she's not. Or she wouldn't have hooked up with Rodolfo right away. You know what I mean? So let's go back. Anyway, this is Mimì. So she's, you know, and I learned a lot about people like Mimì when I lived in Italy. And I sort of became Mimì when I lived in Italy, because in Italy, love is everyone's favorite pastime. It's not baseball or something lame like that. It's not Xbox. People love to fall in love, and they're not embarrassed about it. Love is not a 4-letter word in Italy. Amore, that's more than 4 letters. So this is Mimì. She's a flake. She's passionate. She makes poor decisions. I mean, Rodolfo is a poet. That's like falling in love with a skateboarder. You know what I mean? It's not what you would want for your daughter. It's not what you would want for yourself. But this is Mimì, you know. So anyway, let's go back. Donde lieta uscì al tuo grido d'amore. So to the place that I left when I heard your call of love, I come back now. Torna sola Mimì. Mimì comes back now to the lonely little nest, the lonely little cubbyhole. Ritorna un'altra volta. I come back again to embroider fake flowers. And you can just tell she said to embroider fake flowers. That's exactly what she says. Addio. Addio. Addio means goodbye forever. Now, those of you who speak Spanish might say adios. We say adios all the time. It's not so dramatic. In Italian, addio is dramatic. It's dramatic. It means goodbye forever. If you say addio to someone, that means I'm never going to see you again. Otherwise, you say arrivederci, you say ciao, you say all kinds, buonasera, you say all kinds of things. If you say addio, it means forever. So she says addio senza rancor. That means no hard feelings. People want to translate this as like without rancor. That's not how people talk. In Italian, senza rancore is how you say no hard feelings in English. She says goodbye forever, no hard feelings. And then she says, ascolta, ascolta. Have you done that before where it's someone you're breaking up with, but you don't want to break up with them. You love them, but you feel like, oh, I have to break up. So she says, addio, goodbye forever, no hard feelings. And then 2 seconds later, she's like, wait a minute, ascolta, ascolta, listen. Le poche robe ad una che lasciai sparse. That means the stuff that I left laying around. That is literally what it means. That stuff I left laying around. Nel mio cassetto stan chiusi quel cerchietto d'or e il libro di preghiere. Nel mio cassetto. So she has a special drawer that's hers. In my drawer, there's my gold chain and there's my, Bible, my prayer book. Involgi tutto quanto in un grembiale. Just tie everything up in a bag. And then she said, e manderò il portiere. So in other words, he's like, oh, cool, you're going to stop by. And she's like, no, I'll send the doorman. She's all dramatic about it. And my Italian voice teacher told me that. She's the one who told me that. Like when I was singing this, she said, that Mimì is like, ba, 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 manderò il portiere, right? So she's like, wait a minute, don't get excited. I'm going to send the doorman to get it. So then she says, bada. Okay, listen. Sotto il guanciale, under my pillow, c'è la cuffietta rosa. There's my little pink cap. Se vuoi, if you want to keep it as a memory of our love. And then she says again, addio senza rancor. Goodbye forever, no hard feelings. So this whole aria, this whole song is so many of us have done this. And that's what I love about Puccini. He's so contemporary because it is the classic thing that you do with someone that you really don't want to break up with, where you're just dragging it out. All she had to do was just be like, bye. But instead she's dragging this all out and, you can find this and tie it up in a thing. She's doing everything she possibly can to give him the chance to say, no, don't go. So that's what this whole aria is about. But it's super dramatic. I mean, she's feeling bad about it, but at the same time, she wants him to stop her. She wants him to say, no, please don't go. So, I love this aria. I was given this aria to sing when I was way too young to sing it. I was like a 20-year-old virgin trying to sing Puccini. Not a good look, and I had no idea what I was singing. But, years later, I had the opportunity to sing it again, and with definitely a heightened understanding of Mimì and love and tragedy and dating the wrong guy, which, let's face it, Rodolfo loves her, but he's a poet. You don't want that for your daughter. A poet. Fall in love with somebody with money, Mimì. So anyway, enjoy singing this and let me know how you like it.